All right, folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. Today, we're going to be talking about power bill crisis and what is going on, not just out west, but also what's going on with the power bill going up in what some are calling hyperinflation on the East Coast. PrepperNow is now being sponsored by Augusta Precious Metals. They're a member of the Better Business Bureau, and you can check them out online at AugustaPreciousMetals.com, and a great place to consider putting your retirement if you want to put it into a gold or silver IRA. Welcome to PrepperNow.
When they come, I will stand my ground.
All right, friends, thanks so much for being here. Please hit the like button and stuff, and subscribe and share and all of that. We're going to be talking today about this power bill crisis that's going on. We're all feeling it. We're all feeling the power pricing going up. And as the gentleman said, we're doing all of these things, but nothing's really changing. There's nothing that is happening that is making our bills come down. We're giving up more. We're doing the green thing. We're having wind and solar and nuclear and all this green technology, but the prices just aren't going down. So what we're seeing here is a power bill crisis. And the problem with all this is that it is just in the beginning. There's no relief in sight as it is right now. So there's been this Go Green initiative to go and save the earth. And what some people are saying is a bit of a created crisis problem, because when you go and try to do these kind of green initiatives, well, it can be a little expensive. So this marketing and PR campaign by some of our more progressive friends out there is basically making our grids less safe, and they're making them mismanaged. And we're starting to look a little bit more like our friends down south in Cuba. So with all of this going on, we've all probably gotten some kind of an alert from our power companies saying, hey, you've got potential for a blackout. You've got a potential for a brownout. You might have to reduce electricity. You might have to turn your air conditioning up and all these different things. And all that is because we are just teetering on the edge of a problem with our electricity. And then to treat all this, well, just like our friends down south in Cuba, we're seeing more blackouts. We're seeing more power outages. There was an outage in Iraq a couple days ago. Pakistan has gone dark. Numerous places are going dark. Well, in America, you think that we should be able to handle this, but the fact is that we're not. So the good news is that the administration is trying to get ahead of this, supposedly, and being proactive. They are ordering a delay in retirements of coal-fired power plants, and they're trying to invest more into nuclear power. But the management of our grid is getting worse and worse and worse, and they're asking us to pay more and more and more, just like out in California, like this report.
A power flex with investors and in power save mode with customers. Today, PG&E shared with investors its latest earnings report and also said it's working to keep your bill from ballooning. NBC Bear's Alyssa Gord breaks down what executives are promising and what the critics are saying.
PG&E leaders acknowledged it at the company's second quarter earnings call. Customers are beyond tired of seeing their rates increase.
To continue funding needed investment while holding customer bills at or below the rate of inflation.
Over the last decade, PG&E rates have gone up 101%, according to the California Public Utilities Commission. And the utility has requested 7 rate increases over the past 2 years. Today, PG&E said rates aren't expected to go up again this year. And next year, combined residential bills will actually go down. Plus, the utility expects residential gas and electric bills in 2027 to be flat compared to 2025. These statements are not surprising given what PG&E CEO Patty Poppy told our Raj Mathai back in May.
So as you can see, there's major problems going on, and there's not really a solution for it. And the further we get into this, the more and more they want us to give up. The more and more they want us to go with green. So out here on the East Coast, great state of New Jersey, well, their Governor Murphy took 6 power plants offline and took $1 billion and putting it into wind and offshore different investments for solar or for green energy, and it's not paying off. So the climate activists who voted in favor of all this are pushing this $1 trillion investment. Some people use the word scam, but all it's really turning into is inflation. This all came from the Inflation Reduction Act, but the problem is that our inflation is not getting less. Our inflation is actually going up and up and up. So people are having their bills come back home. I mean, our bill 2 years ago was about $150 to $250, depending. Well, now it's $300 to $450, and this is happening all across our state of Maryland. Maryland, they're saying, is major problems with inflation of the bill, and people are just struggling to get by. So, with all this going on, we need more reliable infrastructure. We need more baseload generation. But because they are surrendering to the climate alarmists, as some are saying, there's many problems that are going on. So now the states that are around Pennsylvania are dependent upon them because Pennsylvania has energy to give. And Maryland, a couple months ago, had to tap into that, to which one of the state senators from Pennsylvania of the more conservative cloth said, "You're welcome to Maryland." Well, now New Jersey has to do the same thing. And basic economics are saying that decreasing supply, increasing demand is going to result in higher prices. And the problem is that people are like this lady, well, they can't keep up.
Happy rent day, y'all. I am so fucking annoyed every first of the month because I got paid today and what I make is not enough to pay rent, so I have to do a flex payment. So I got paid about $2,600 today. My rent is $2,800, and then I have 2 utility bills. One utility bill is an electric and gas bill, which this month it was $300, and that's also due today. And then the other one is the water bill, which was $193 this month, which is also due today. And then I have Verizon, my boyfriend and I, and the Verizon bill is $215. Don't know why it's that fucking much. We don't get service anywhere. And then on top of that, we have the internet bill. And did you guys know in San Diego you can only get Cox service? You can't get any other service. Long story short, that fucking bill is $140. And like I said, I only made $2,600, and my boyfriend doesn't get paid till next week. So that's fucking amazing. Isn't that great?
So yes, California, I think that's where she's at. Doesn't really matter. This is across America. And here in the great state of Maryland, we're having our own problems. And there is a power crisis that is happening here. We are with the PJM interconnection grid, and this is in the mid-Atlantic states. And we are now starting to have very similar problems that are going on just like is going on in California. Our power bills all across the state are literally skyrocketing. As I said, we were $150 to $250. Now we are $300 to $450. And for my wife and I and our family, we're okay. We can handle it. We don't like it, but we're able to handle it. But there are people that are literally now, like that lady, having to choose between things. They have to go in and get into payment systems, and They have to do things where they have to spread out the bills over the month because they're just not getting paid enough to handle all this. And this is something that is miring people into further debt, into further economic hardship, and making it so they are more and more reliant on the state. This is not just a California thing anymore. This is not just a West Coast thing anymore. This is happening all across. It's definitely happening here in Maryland, and the PJM interconnection grid is showing everything. And a lot of this, because it is skyrocketing, is because we have a lot of green policies that sound great on paper, but when you put them into production, they're not producing enough energy to keep our prices low. And two things are happening. Our prices are going up, and we're having to be reliant on other states like Pennsylvania. Well, now with all this, demand is surging. And why is that? Well, I'm sure you're all pretty much familiar with the data centers that are needed and all of the production of energy that is needed for that. Also, you have things like electric vehicles. We all want to go and get onto this green kind of an energy thing, but if we don't have the basic infrastructure to handle it, there's really no way that it's going to work. Yeah, you can have an electric vehicle and you can think it's great and you can drive it, but if you can't take it across the country because every 250 miles you have to find a charging center and they're just not there, and that's common, this isn't going to work for everybody. We do trips. Sure, other people do too. And what is this going to look like for the logistics of our trucking center and everything else? So these are trends that are having problems. And there really is a disconnect of the power supply needed and the power supply that is being produced. Simply put, solar and wind and other green energies are just not cutting it. And then you take everything else, and it is just getting to a place where people are not able to keep up. The prices are going way up. Everything else is going way up. It came out today that the PPI, which is the inflation producers inflation, which is like the raw materials, that has gone up for 1 month a good amount. And we're just having problems. People are just not able to keep up with all this. And so it's one thing when your food prices are going up. It's another thing when your energy prices are going up. And it's another thing when your wages are not going up. So the power crisis is going to get worse. That's the bad news. And there's not really a great way to stop it right now. And so we're going to have to manage some way to either give up some of the green energy and all of the pie in the sky desires to go into 100% sustainable. But to get there, everybody has to go broke. And that's just not going to work. And if you take money out of one section of the economy, like to energy or to food prices, and you're not putting it back through, say, higher wage growth, all of these things come back to bite everything in the butt and eventually will lead to a recession. And as we're basically claiming here, all of this is going to start to go into beyond a recession, into a depression. We got to have power. You have to have power to do all these things, but at the same time, you have to do it in a way where it is going to work. Nuclear energy is an answer, but the problem with all that is that nuclear energy takes a long time to build, and the amount that will be needed to not just service the public, but to service all of the data centers of the intelligent that is artificial. If I say it, they go after the video, because everything here is all on that. They must protect themselves. But if we start to do all that, and then you take in all the data centers and all the power needs for that, it's just not going to work. And then having zero fossil fuels for vehicles, that's a non-starter. It's just not going to happen. All right, folks, that's your video for the day. We'll be going live tonight. I appreciate you. God bless you all. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Check out Augusta Precious Metals. They are the channel sponsor. If you're looking to put your IRA into gold and silver, they're one of the best to do it with. Also, sponsors are JASE and PrepperNow and OUPES, and of course ITEHIL with their water filtration systems and their reverse osmosis systems. These are all great companies. Go in there and you can get a good amount of money off of this product should you choose to do them. But we need to be doing things that are going to make problems get solved, not create more problems. And it seems like the green energy move is just causing more problems than it's worth. God bless. Thanks for visiting PrepperNow, and we'll see you on the next one.